That game was just all around bad, and one thing's for sure, you and I are never allowed to wear the same shirt again.
That's fair. Welcome in to the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code PHNX for 15% off your first order. Of course, we are doing this very, very sad and unfortunate walk of shame in Studio K, presented by Circle K. Guys, make sure you download Circle K's app and you sign up for Inner Circle. That was a bad one. All the way around. I'm Anthony Totri. That is Erik. We got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts, and vent. Let it out. It's a safe space. It's a therapy session this evening. There is no win music. There is no win to discuss because Arizona State, they got embarrassed at home. The score doesn't reflect it, but they lost 24-16 to the Houston Cougars. This was bad. This was absolutely bad all the way through. We're going to get into where it specifically fell apart. Potentially hear from Kenny Dillingham a little bit later on in the show, and take a look at what's ahead for Arizona State. But first and foremost, getting into tonight's game, this was...
Bro, read the...
There's your Jeff.
Yeah, read the room, Espo.
What's left, man?
Get out of here.
Yeah, this was bad all the way around. Special teams, offense, defense. I mean, where do we start? Where do you guys want to start on this one?
I mean, yeah, this was extraordinarily bad. I think we need to flush something out of our system first.
Okay.
Like, usually in a game where it's like, look, the refs did not cost Arizona State this game.
No.
That's what we need here. The refs did not cost Arizona State this game. And we need to make that loud and clear. That being said, they're really bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like we just need to flush. I'm going to take a poll. We just need to flush it. We just need to flush it, man. Dang, you're just sipping. It's good tequila.
Yeah.
It's Three Amigos. Let's just acknowledge that. Last night we got yelled at in the Suns chat for not acknowledging the refs. So let's just acknowledge that they really, really sucked.
Yeah, no,
Like
the refs,
they really sucked.
The refs were ass.
But in about
an hour, when we hit overtime, I'll tell you how I really feel about those guys in
I just want to flush
the Foot Locker uniforms.
Like, I want to flush it. I want to get it out of our system. I'll take a sip from this in a second. I do want to show something that our friend Ralph Amson posted on Twitter that kind of sums up really kind of how this game went and how it felt basically the entire time, because we're going to get into how ASU really messed up everything, because they messed up everything today, from special teams to offense to the defense, literally not being able to stop the same play over and over again. But this, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. That's just two old guys.
Two guys
talking
chopping it
about
up.
hard candy.
Two mahjong players catching up after the weekly game.
Yeah. I mean, the refs were absolutely horrendous. Not just impacting tonight's game, but now Miles Rouser, because he was hit with that targeting call, will miss the first half of the Iowa State game. So that's absolutely fantastic. But I mean, we could literally probably break down every single piece of this game, because it was all bad. And I want to start with special teams. Normally we would start with offense, defense, whatever, instant reaction, how we're feeling. I want to get straight into it, because the special teams it's been bad all year long.
Yep.
And I think that this team has been able to get away with it because when they need Jesus Gomez to make a field goal, he makes it. When they need it most, right? When game's on the line, Jesus Gomez has come through for this team. TCU, Baylor. He made how many, 4 field goals last week? Something along those lines. But the return game, kick return, punt coverage has been absolutely grotesque at every single stop and turn this season.
It might actually be, like, I'm not even kidding here. Maybe take the bottom 2 or 3 teams out of it. Arizona State special teams might be the worst singular unit in the Big 12.
It might be. Oh, no.
Like,
it is.
Like,
it is.
No,
it is.
100%.
Singular unit overall out of every team in the Big 12.
1,000%.
It is one of, if not the worst.
And I don't want to put this all on. You can't put this all on specifically one individual. And I know there's a lot of folks that want to talk about Charlie Ragle. I have people in my mentions, people on Twitter saying, get rid of Charlie Ragle, blah, 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 blah. Charlie Ragle is not getting fired. He's not getting fired.
And
he doesn't deserve to get fired as it stands right now. Does he deserve the position that he's in? Maybe. As it stands right now, Charlie Ragle is not going to get relieved of his duties at Arizona State. Do not see that happening. Not here to call for anyone's job. This is a collective unit. Jesus Gomez played his worst game that he's played all season long. The punting game has been atrocious. Punt coverage, atrocious. That falls on every single individual in that room. Every single one of them. Charlie does indeed have to take the blame for it, right? Because he is the special teams coach. I do not see a world where Charlie Ragle gets fired midseason.
Okay.
I don't see it.
And I think that in itself is a separate conversation. Look, I'm not Mr. Call for people's jobs. Like that, I don't do that unless it's Mike Budenholzer. But this is a results-based industry.
Yeah.
This is a results-based business. And I get it. The players shoulder responsibility for sure. But if you look at it from a head coaching position or an offense or a defense, if a unit is literally one of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life, like it is not just the fact that it's poor decision making on whether to actually field a punt or let it roll into the end zone, or whether that there's a flag called for every single somewhat positive play, or missed field goals or bad snaps. It's the fact that it happens week after week after week for now 2 years. Now 2 years at this point, the special teams has been atrocious.
It's been bad.
It's been atrocious. In this industry, in the sports world, coaches get fired because of that.
Yeah.
Like, I get that there is more to it than just fire the coach and things automatically get better. I know that, again, Ralph, to bring him up, comes on the show and says, well, if you're going to ask for somebody's job, who's going to replace him, right? What difference is it going to make? And I understand all of those points, but this is a results-based sport. This is a results-based industry. And the results are that this entire unit, top to bottom, is trash. It's trash. And do the players shoulder responsibility? Sure. But a lot of
Absolutely. Charlie Ragle didn't kick that ball out of bounds on kickoff.
But it's the same thing with head coaches. Head coaches get fired when team sucks. GMs get fired when team sucks.
I'm not saying don't give Charlie Ragle crap. What I am saying is if you are going to pick on one person for not doing their job, then pick on everyone for not doing their job.
Sure.
Jesus Gomez did not play well tonight.
No.
Kenyon Floyd did not play well tonight. Every single man that was on special teams tonight did not play well.
Correct.
And I'm not going to say it cost this team the game because I don't think it did. I think this team, literally all 3 phases of the game, and we will make the argument for why it was just a piss poor performance all the way around. But like every single person on special teams needs, you got to look in the mirror because Kenny said last week, we're going to get it fixed.
Yeah, he said it. Post-game.
And it didn't. It did not get fixed one bit. This was a special teams disaster from the jump, and something needs to change to correct it.
So then what's the change, right? Let's just talk about it. What's the change?
At this point in the season, you're not making drastic changes to these types of things. You're just
no, but
not
I hear
doing
you.
it.
How does this get fixed? How?
The same thing that you did last offseason with bringing in new players is exactly what you have to do. You have to bring in new players at these positions for competition. That's exactly what you have to do because the players that you have right now that are on special teams, specifically in the kicking game, it simply was not good enough, and it has not been good enough really all season long. And then in terms of coaching, you may have to look at different options. Like to make it work. And again, I'm not going to sit up here and call for someone to get fired. If I didn't do it for, some folks in the past, then I'm not going to do it now. But I think you have to make some necessary adjustments within the coaching ranks, because right now you just don't have the juice to get this done. And special teams has been a disaster realistically for the last 3 seasons.
I think there are a lot of things that quote unquote cost this team the game, right? And yes, Houston is a good team. We have Eddie Lozano in the chat with a super chat saying UH is a good team. I agree. But I do look at special teams, right? Like, let's say you had a couple more field goals, right? Does your play calling change, right? Like it's such a momentum shifter, right? Like that last possession, what if you don't start on the 4-yard line? I don't know. Am I trusting Jeff Sims to get the job done with how this offense performed? No, but it didn't help.
Yeah, no,
it didn't help.
Yeah,
like the special teams is a massive problem and is genuinely costing this team. If it's not games, it's costing them a hell of a lot of points. And in a game like this, where you put up 16 points in the fourth quarter and you put up 0 in the 3 quarters before that, if something just changed, if one thing shifted, Arizona State could have won this game. We could have been talking about a win. And I do believe that special teams is a massive part of that. And if you go into next season and it's the same coaching staff and different players, because guess what? There are different players on special teams this year. It is not the same people doing everything, especially at your kicking position, right? And Jesus Gomez has had great points in the season, and then this was a season low point. At the same time, if you just replace the players and you don't replace a coach, and a unit then continues to struggle for a 3rd year, you cannot do a 3rd year of talking about this.
This will be a 4th year.
Well, 4th, but
because we're going on 3 years, and Charlie Regal has been the special team coordinator for the last 3 seasons.
It's been 2 years of, hey, this special teams is costing this team games.
Again, I don't think special teams cost them this game. This is an all-around bad performance. All around. Offense, defense, special teams. I just wanted to get the special teams out of the way because that's what I've been seeing the most of, not just in chat, but literally all over social media as well. I'm very interested to see what Kenny has to say post-game about special teams.
Yeah.
Because this is somebody who has not been shy to go up on a podium and say, hey, things need to change, and we're going to make those changes, right? Last year against Cincinnati, we're calling for walk-on kickers, right? I'm very interested to see if Kenny addresses special teams, what he has to say about special teams post-game. But it wasn't just special teams.
No, there was so much that was wrong with this game.
The craziest part is we can go ahead and take a look at By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union named by Forbes. And you may not know how this game shook out if you just looked at the stats. But of course, the only number that matters, Erik, is that final score. Houston coming out on top 24-16. In terms of total yards gained, 426 for the Sun Devils, 384 for Houston, 328 yards through the air for ASU, 201 for Houston. On the ground, this was a big part of it. $183 for the Cougs, 98 for the Sun Devils, and then 1 takeaway for Houston. It felt like it should have been way more, and 0 takeaways for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Which one stands out most to you?
It's the rushing yards, because they could not stop the same play.
They literally just spammed the same play, bro.
And over and over and over and over and over again. Conner Weigman, delayed quarterback rush right up the gut.
Yeah.
7 to 15 yards.
They pulled their guard.
Every single time.
They literally just spammed that same play over and over and over again. Like, it just ridiculously embarrassing. As a fan, I'm sure the players feel embarrassed, but you can't have a situation where Houston, and they were doing this from the jump, that very first possession, it was the play that Weigman broke his 50-something yard run on to get Houston going offensively. The delayed quarterback draw, they had the guard pull, they had the tight end pull, and they just cleared out everybody. Everybody on the D-line was getting pushed around. They were doubling CJ in the trenches, and that was just all they needed to do to get the job done. Weigman would let the blocks develop, the lanes develop, and then he would take off. And the craziest part about it is, I get it. I get it. If all game long, you know what? They got a better game plan. They got a better play, and they're just bullying you, right? Because they got that. But what I am not going to sit here and say I'm okay with is a quarterback of any size, of any caliber, being able to shrug off D linemen, linebackers, safeties. It was a bad tackling performance from Arizona State tonight. A bad tackling performance all the way around from this defense, especially when all Houston was doing was running the same exact damn play over and over and over again. That's it. That is all they needed. Once they got up, that is the only play that they needed in their playbook to get 3-4 yards a tote, and that was it. They ran away with it. And then when ASU's offense did get the ball, it was a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. And I get it. I get it. This team is dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
Like, that is so evident out there, right? Sam can't even finish the game because he is so beat up. You have offensive linemen being shuffled in every single drive. Different ones at guard, at tackle. For what reason? For injuries, for depth, for rotation? I'm curious. I don't know why.
I mean, literally also just because of quality of play.
Yeah.
They were trying to find something that worked. Just something on that offensive line. It was Swiss cheese. Sam had no time at all the entire game. And in fact, that led to him scrambling and then getting hurt.
And I get it. I get Sam's a competitor. Sam would never do this because he's Sam. I'm not going out there, bro. I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there with that offensive line. I have been beat up for the last how many weeks? How many weeks have we talked about Sam Leavitt getting absolutely pummeled and scrambling for his life because the interior of the offensive line can't hold up?
It's bad. I mean, you're right. He would never do that.
No, he would never do that.
And if he did, a lot of people would have a lot to say, right?
Yeah, they would. But guess what? People have a lot to say right now. People are saying Sam's soft because he's leaving the game.
Oh, dude, that guy was messed up. Like that. Like he has been through a lot. He's been through a lot. I mean, and again, the injury that we haven't even mentioned yet is the fact that they're missing the best player on the team today. Like Jordan Tyson wasn't there. And look, all these things are true. Like the injuries, that's true, right? The team needs to play better. That's true. It's also mistakes, though, man. It's not just like, hey, you got to tackle better. Hey, you got to block better. It's, man, you got to get out of your own damn way. What were the penalty yards tonight?
12 for 76.
12 for 76. What did Houston have?
7 for 50, but it doesn't feel like it was 7 for 50.
No, it's not just about the amount of penalties and the amount of yards. It's the timing of it, too. And we can talk about the refs all we want, and we could say that there were calls that the refs made that they shouldn't have made, and that's true. The reality of the situation is an entire season of this so far, this team has gotten in their own way on big, important plays via penalties over and over and over again from game one against NAU when multiple 70-yard plays were called back. This team has gotten in their own way when they have needed to be in the moment the most. That's sloppy. And is that on the players? Yes. But when we look back at teams who have been so penalized in bad moments over and over and over again, what's pointed out? A lot of the times it's the coaching, right? This was not a problem last year, right? This was not something that we look back and said the Arizona State Sun Devils got in their way when it mattered the most. No, it was the exact opposite. They stepped up when it mattered the most.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling the amount of times there's any play, whether it's you get a stop on defense, right? You break up a pass, you get a first down, you actually get a 20-something yard kick return. And we're all looking at each other, watching the game, waiting for the laundry to get thrown. It's expected. That's so bad. That should never be happening with this team and with this coaching staff and how we've been praising them. Like that cannot be the identity of this team if they want to win football games, let alone be a contender in the Big 12, which right now they aren't.
No, right now they aren't. There's still a ton to get into Arizona State's 24-16 loss to the now 7-1 Houston Cougars. We're going to get into all of it and take a look at still what's ahead for Arizona State on the other side of this quick break. Like, I don't know about you guys, but finances run my existence. They run my life. And Erik, I have a bunch of subscriptions. I couldn't tell you what I'm subscribed to, though.
Well, you
I
couldn't,
know I've got a bunch.
but now you can.
You're right. Now I can with our friends over at Monarch Money. Monarch is built for people with busy lives, just like you. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. They do the heavy lifting. They link all your accounts in minutes and get clear data, visuals, smart categorization of your spending, in real control over your money. We promise you're never gonna need to touch a spreadsheet again. No longer are you gonna be sitting at home being like, I wonder if I have this subscription. I wonder what this account looks like. I wonder if I need to go get this. It gets erased. Monarch Money is gonna put it all in a neat place for you guys to know exactly where your money is going. Monarch Money, guys. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code PHNX at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code PHNX.
I love versatility. This same Three Amigos Extra Añejo, I drank a week ago.
Wow.
Celebrating, excited, and it helped me celebrate, and we love to celebrate. 7 days later, I'm mad.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Rightfully so.
I'm everything in between. And once again, the Extra Añejo from Three Amigos is here for me. Not just because I need it, but also because it's the best that we could have. Family owned right here in the Valley, founded in 1939 and crafted in Mexico with 100% blue Weber agave. It's award winning for a reason. You tasted it earlier. Smooth, bold, and made for moments that matter, good and bad. And what makes it different? Well, it's easy. The agave they farm themselves, no outsourcing needed. It's a true farm to glass tequila, and you can taste it. So this season, tailgate, toast, celebrate, or be sad with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
Joshua in the chat talking about potential tiebreakers and situations going on for the rest of the season. We'll get into all that stuff a little bit later on if we even get to it. We do have
a little update on Sam Leavitt from Kenny Dillingham postgame. Says that he wouldn't let Sam Leavitt back in the game after he, quote, retweaked an injury, saying that he needed to get imaging on the injury before he could play again. That ended his night. So retweaked an injury.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is different from what happened earlier in the game because he was able to go back.
He was able to go back in the game. Yeah, Sam, this is the thing. Sam has been hurt since Baylor, right?
Yep.
Given what he has to do, the heroics in this offense right now, he is never going to get to be 100% the rest of the season.
No,
there just is not enough opportunity.
He got hurt. The first play that he got hurt on was because he had to scramble and be a hero.
So you need to make a decision. Like you ultimately need to make a decision. And I get it. There's still so much, like, in theory, right, to play for. Your chances of going to the Big 12 championship aren't in theory over. But there needs to be, like, a real conversation about Sam Leavitt and his health moving forward the rest of the way. Not to say that I think him being out there is hurting this team, because I don't think that.
Clearly not.
But I think it's he's got a future, right? So, like, he needs to do what's best for him ultimately when it comes to his playing time the rest of the season. But again, I know he's a competitor. Like that tweet said, he wanted to go back in the game after.
Of course, you could see it. The camera was on him on the sidelines, and you could tell that this was eating him alive. I mean, didn't he say he cried before Utah, or there was some overcoming of emotion
on the sideline?
On the sideline because he couldn't be out there and play.
Yeah,
like Sam Leavitt wins football games at Mount America Stadium. Yeah, like technically this will go down as his first ever loss.
Yeah, as a starter
there. This is the first time Arizona State has lost at home since 2023.
Yeah,
right. There's a reason for that, and a big part of that reason, of course, last year it's Cam Scadaboo. Of course, it's Jordan Tyson. Of course, it's Sam Leavitt, right? And he will come back if he can come back. But you're right, he has a future, and realistically, that future might be with Arizona State.
Yeah,
right. It doesn't mean that he's going to the NFL next year. If anything, I wouldn't say his draft stock has been skyrocketing this season, even though it's not fully his fault. Now, I know there are also people in the chat who are worried about him transferring. I personally
don't think Sam's
don't see that happening. But it's tough. Like, he's in a tough position because if he does push it in play, like, your ceiling is what? It is the Big 12 championship, but we talked all this week and you said, like, as far as like what you can get from this regular season.
Yeah.
Like, you can still hit the Big 12 championship.
You can still make it.
What we talked about percentages earlier, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you say it's not worth it to push?
This is what I want to say is we could sit up here and talk about percentages and do all that type of stuff and That's cool. Yeah, there's a chance. The team that played, like, two of the last 3 games that this team has played, they've been embarrassed. They've got their chain snatched. They've gotten pushed in lockers. They got their lunch money taken away. Happened on the road at Utah. Then we forgot about it because they played well against Texas Tech, a great team, got a great win.
Huge.
And then they come back this week, sloppy. Absolutely sloppy in all 3 phases of the game. If you want to add coaching as a 4th phase, sure. This team doesn't look ready. We can talk about chances. Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance that I could learn to be a pilot, but that's not going to happen, right? Because I'm not applying myself to do it. These guys aren't applying themselves right now to go out there and play championship level football. That's not championship level football by any means.
No.
Utah beat their ass. Houston owned the game tonight. Had Arizona State on a leash the entire game. Held the ball for 35 minutes to ASU's 22. ASU couldn't do anything third down offensively. They spammed the same play with Weigman's delayed QB draw, and special teams shot themselves in the foot. And everywhere in between, there was yellow laundry all across. So yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance they make the Big 12 championship, sure. But right now, if they play like that, they're going to be lucky. Lucky, what are they, 5-2 right now?
5-3.
5-3? They'll be lucky to go bowling. If they play like that, I don't care who you're playing across from. That was piss poor performance. Literally, from the very beginning of this game, it was not Arizona State football. It was not the standard that this team set itself up for in 2024. So yeah, there's a chance, Josh. There's a chance they make the Big 12 championship, but I don't see it. Iowa State just ran one hell of a game against BYU. They didn't win it, but BYU's atop this conference right now. Iowa State gave them a run for their money, and you're telling me you got to go there now? You got to go play a ticked-off Iowa State team? Come on. You play like that, you might as well not even show up.
Yeah. Look, this team, and you can track it throughout the season, right? From week 1 to where we stand right now at 5-3. There have been signs. Now, there have been good signs. There have been, if they fix this, they do that. They're still winning games. But you can track along the entire season. Has this team ever been playing like a championship level football team?
Has this team? Yeah, moments. Yeah, there's moments.
But championship level teams don't play like championship level teams for moments. They play like it for games. They play like it for weeks. They play like it for seasons. Yeah. Even Arizona State last year, before we got to the point where they were actually in contention for the Big 12 championship, before we got to the point where they were Big 12 champions, before we got to the point where they're in the college football playoffs, we never sat here on a post-game show and talked about the team like we're talking about it today. Yeah. Never. Did they lose 2 times in conference last year? Absolutely. They did. Did they lose without their starting quarterback on the road last year? Absolutely. Did we ever sit in any of our studios and say Arizona State played awful in every single phase of the football game against a team that, by the way, they were touchdown favorites over at home? Yeah. No, that never happened. That's a championship team. They weren't perfect. Every single week we said they have more that they can give. They have more than they can give. And that was the same thing this year. But there's a distinct difference in how they play. There's a distinct difference in the point where we've heard multiple times, hey, we got to get the guys better prepared. We got to coach better, right? Multiple times where we sit back here and say players are making mistakes. They're holding when they don't need to hold, right? Like they are doing things that are getting in their own way beyond the talent. That is not a championship level team. And realistically speaking, like they haven't looked like a championship level team, maybe besides the Texas Tech game. And that Tech game was massive. But now it doesn't matter.
I mean, again, there's chances, there's things that happen. But again, like
you lose
that level of performance
7 days ago is gone.
That level of performance tonight is very, very uninspiring. Given, what is still to come for the rest of the season. I do want to go ahead and get to some of those super chats.
We don't do that stuff in chat. Y'all need to. Nah.
I don't even know what.
Just move on.
Okay.
Just move on. I'll monitor it.
We got a super chat from Eddie saying UH is a good team. Absolutely. Houston deserves credit for that win, man. I get it. Arizona State did not play well. But they go ahead, they move to 7-1, and they have a legit shot now of being in play for the Big 12 title, especially now that they have a tiebreaker over Arizona State. Their one loss comes to Texas Tech. Do you know who their next 4 games are? Without looking at my screen, do you know who the next 4 games are for Houston? They're at home next week against West Virginia. Then they're at UCF. Then they're home against TCU. Then they're at Baylor to round out their season.
They could win out.
Absolutely.
They could easily
They
win
could
out.
easily at this point.
Now, it is the Big 12.
It is the Big 12, so anything can happen. But yeah, I mean, Eddie's right. You got to give UH some credit there. Also says, I think UA and ASU in Big 12 is a good fit. Yeah, I mean,
sure, yeah. From a big picture perspective, yes.
Joshua Hutchins, we appreciate the $1.99 super chat saying we had 2 good returns got called back on special teams. SMH. Yeah, I mean, again, that's the holdings, the penalties on special teams. They continue to bite this team in the ass just week over week, game after game.
Can I make you laugh?
It's tough.
Blue M&M in the chat says, as soon as a grown-ass man, 50-year-old man, fell into me from behind and then puked all over himself at the game tonight, I knew what kind of night it would be.
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair. It's never going to be a good night when that happens to you. John Mendoza with a $4.99 super chat. We appreciate you, John, saying, I cannot believe that after 28 years of being a sports fan in Arizona, I have fallen for the same bleep again. Are we sure the Giant even exists? Joshua Hutchins with a couple more super chats. We appreciate you, Josh, saying proud of Malik McLean stepping up. That's your guy. Also
guy.
Saying Colorado losing 40-0 in the second quarter. Who are they playing?
Utah. But it doesn't matter because
Devin Dampier is also not playing.
We got our
kicked in
by Utah, and you just lost tonight. So
it's 43-0 now.
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Wow. Yeah. It's just depressing, man. I just don't understand. I really, really do not understand how you put up the level of performance you did tonight, given what you did just a week ago.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Because you get your ass kicked by Utah, right? Which you can't make fun of Colorado for. You get your ass kicked by Utah. You come out the next week and it's like, finally this team wakes the hell up. They're practicing hard. They're showing up and they're hitting each other. And then it's like, okay, you're not playing West Virginia this week. You're not playing UCF. You're not playing Oklahoma State. You're not playing somebody that you can go and say, this is a 6-1 football team. It's a team whose only loss is to Texas Tech. There was no reason to sleep on this team. And also, guess what? They just did the same thing over and over again. Yeah. It wasn't like they were just like, oh my God, Houston's playing out of their minds.
No, they just dominated them, dude.
It's like you're playing Mortal Kombat and somebody just pressed square all over and over again and they just kept punching you until you die.
They dominated them in such a unique way that's so much different than Utah did, I feel like. Obviously, the score wasn't what that is, right? What that game was. But it was dominance. And I want to talk about a reoccurring issue that has honestly driven me crazy the entire season. I'm very curious to let chat get on its soapbox as well.
Yeah.
Let you.
I'm excited for you to get on your soapbox.
We'll talk about what's on my mind and so much more on the other side of this quick break. Look, I'll tell you what. Rubus here.
Yeah.
The most handsome man this side of the Mississippi. But it's not just because of Rubus.
No.
It's because of what's on his head.
Yeah.
That just sexy branded Bills cap. If you guys personally are looking for some gear to make your personal brand stand apart from the crowd, well, look no further than Branded Bills. They've got you covered with the best custom headwear in the game. Start your order and their dedicated team is going to help you create the exact custom apparel you need. Rubus, off the top of your head, literally, how many Branded Bills caps do you have?
20.
And are any of them the same?
No.
Branded Bills, especially when it comes to the Arizona State hats that they have so many different options for you guys. Whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, they've got you covered with performance and style. One big thing, affordability, ladies and gentlemen. It's huge here in 2025. It's a local company from Mesa, Arizona, so support local businesses. Head to brandedbills.com and use code BB, PHNX, for 15% off your first order.
We love Mountain America Credit Union. Arizona State University loves Mountain America Credit Union. Mountain America Credit Union saved a little money today because they donate $250 to support university athletics for every field goal made. But it is true that Mountain America loves Arizona State University, of course, we all know Mountain America Stadium. And Mountain America is dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. They provide $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes each year. They sponsor a shoe donation program to award brand new shoes to community members in need. And for you, well, you can get your own checking account with built-in benefits. With Mountain America's My Style checking account, enjoy restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and so much more. The reality of the situation is Mountain America is the place for you to continue to start your financial journey. Learn more at macu.com/ASU, insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit.
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the subscribe button.
Please.
Drop 5-star review of your podcast. So,
yeah, tell me. I have no idea what you're going to say here.
Less than 365 days ago,
Marcus
Arroyo was Tim Broyles Award finalist, right? One of the best coordinators in college football.
Yep.
One of the best OCs. The best OC. He was the only OC there as a finalist. This offense through 7 games still doesn't really feel like it has an identity. Running the ball, I don't know why they only ran it, a running back tonight only ran the ball 12 times.
And it was at a point where there were multiple times, especially on first down.
Averaging nearly 6 yards a carry.
Right.
I get it. You're playing from behind, right?
Yeah.
You blinked and you were down.
But still, it was still at a point where you got to do what works for you.
Yeah, 1,000%. Raleek Brown only had 13 total touches tonight. Not enough. Not nearly enough. So no identity. Still suck in the red zone. 1 of 2 tonight in the red zone in terms of scoring. And you've sucked all year long in the red zone.
Yeah.
5 of 15 on third down. You were 33%. 0.33 repeating for all the math nerds out there. So you're bad on third down. You're penalized. And I get it. Not all of it's on the coordinator here, but turning the ball over too, right? They should have had more than 1 turnover tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So just summing it up. No identity. Bad in the red zone. Bad on third down. Am I missing something here? This offense is, you have no rhythm. You have not been in a rhythm the majority of the year.
Even when your offensive line was fully healthy, it was never protecting Sam like it should have been.
And it takes Jordan Tyson being out to get other players involved. I for the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around it, around why the offense looks the way that it does. Now, I think it has something to do with the offensive line.
Yeah.
Because obviously you don't have Ben Coleman anymore. I think this team really realized really quickly the importance of Leaf Fautanu at center and then having Coleman somewhere else on this offensive line. Your tackles are getting beat. They've proven to be too slow. And the interior of your offensive line is getting bullied. With respect to them, they're getting bullied by dominant D tackles in this conference.
Still getting bullied.
So your offensive line can't hold up. Sam has to go through 1-2 reads, and then he's got to bounce from the pocket. And nobody else can really get open downfield. So we got to scheme something up to make that happen. Because I remember very, very clearly Kenny Dillingham, his first year, saying, don't worry about scoring. I'm going to scheme mofos open. I get it. Malik went off tonight. Some receivers got involved. 16 points ain't going to get the job done.
No.
I don't care how good the defense is in front of you. It's not going to get the job done. The offense has been moving like a sputtered car all season long. Outside of the FCS opponent you played, right? The 2 FCS opponents you played in NAU and Texas State. The offense hasn't looked good.
No. Look, man. You're completely right. And it's unacceptable. A lot about what's going on is unacceptable, for sure. And of course, see a lot of people, especially people who are not fans of this team, bringing up Cam Scannaboo. Now, look.
Do we even need to address it?
Here's the thing. I think, again, like I've said multiple times, a variety of things can be true at the same time, right? It is true that when you lose a guy like Cam Scadaboo, it is going to be hard for your offense to recover and to still be good after that. Yeah. When you have a guy like Cam Scadaboo who did what he did last year for this team, which we both consider to be the greatest single season from a running back and possibly just a player in the history of this school, across all sports. Like, this guy was one of the greatest that we have ever seen. When you lose somebody like that, it is hard to replace them. What is also true is that this team absolutely has the on-paper talent to be 10 times better than what they have been doing and to be better at replacing them than what they've been able to do.
Do they?
They do. I believe they do. We talk about identity. We talk about the fact they put up over 500 yards against TCU and they can't capitalize in the red zone, right? Like, they have talent. They have one of, if not the best wide receivers in college football.
Yeah.
They have one of the best quarterbacks in the Big 12, right? Raleek Brown, at a certain point, we were calling the best running back in the Big 12. Hey, those are three extremely key guys on your offense, right? That's a lot of talent. Maybe it won't be the same, but it's a lot of talent. Maybe they don't have the same amount of talent to get to the point that they were at last year, but they certainly have it to be better than what they've been. It has not been a talent problem for Arizona State's offense.
It's been an everything problem. What do you think, Deli Man? We haven't heard from you tonight.
Gotta let him think.
Not bad. Not bad things. A lot of very bad things.
Yeah.
Things bad.
That's real.
Are you just asking my overall opinion?
Yeah, I just want to hear from you.
It's clear there's a depth issue. I think I'm just shocked at.
I don't think. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm just confused as to, is the wide receiver room that thin, or because when I see these players running around in their skivvies or playing ball in practice, I don't see a talent issue.
They make plays in the game. It's like you saw Jalen Moss have a catch, and you said, where's that been?
Yeah.
Like, is that to me is they're not scheming these guys to get open. They're not scheming these. They're not calling plays to get these guys involved. I don't know. I literally do not know how they find themselves in second and man.
Yeah. Second and 8. Yeah. Second and 9.
We are in second and long every damn drive. Yeah. And so why does this team suck ass on third down? It's because it's third and long every single time they find themselves in third down. Or when it's 3rd and 2, why are we not running the ball with the guy that's averaging 6 yards per carry? Why are we throwing the ball when they've been draped all over us all night long? I do not understand it. I simply do not. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I don't know as much football as Marcus Arroyo. I'm sure I don't. But I would love to have somebody explain that to me like I'm a 4-year-old, because I just do not understand it. I will never understand why it is 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. We know we can't protect Sam. We know we can't keep him upright. We know he's been dealing with a lower body injury. We know our wide receivers haven't been able to get open quick, right? And we're still throwing the ball.
Well, and M goes because they don't have Cam Scadaboo. It's still 32 with a running back who's good. It's not just about, hey, they don't have, do they have less talent than last year? Sure, right? Are they as good as last year? Absolutely not. Are they as good as we thought they were? Absolutely not.
Dude,
all those things are true.
I don't know about the talent thing, man. I
see they have talent,
I get the Cam Scadaboo thing, but come on. This team returned more players than any team that has been in ASU's position in the past.
Yeah.
Like maybe Indiana. Like that. I just don't see it being a talent thing. Tonight.
So then it's a coaching thing.
And that's the thing.
And that is a little more worrisome to me.
It's absolutely worrisome. Look, man, like we clown on Malik McClain for making mistakes and whatnot, but clearly the kid has talent. Dude had 7 receptions for 159 yards tonight. Dude made big plays. It certainly falls partially on him, But why has the staff not found a way to get him better involved? Jalen Moss clearly has talent. Jalen Moss clearly has something.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
He clearly has something.
I wish I knew.
This team has burners. Jaron Hamilton, Zachariah Sample. These guys are extraordinarily fast. The only time an ASU wide receiver has been open, not named Jordan Tyson, is when the dudes run straight downfield. And Sam has to bomb it to him. You can find better ways to use them. Shimon Mateer was a second-team All-Big 12 tight end last year. Yeah. Again, add that to the conversation of talent. You had a first-team All-Big 12 wide receiver, a second-team All-Big 12 tight end, first-team quarterback, and you had a guy in Raleek Brown who was playing like the best running back in the Big 12 a couple weeks into the season. And I think still could be. Maybe he's not a bell cow. He's definitely not Cam Scadaboo. That's for sure.
I just don't know why you're not giving him the ball.
But you got to give him the ball more. And if it's not working, you as a coach need to find better ways to do it and better ways to use it. And is this team going through an ungodly amount of injuries? Absolutely, especially at the offensive line. For sure. That does not mean that they can't be better at this other stuff that we are talking about here.
Like, honestly, it's just Ben Coleman on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Everybody else is healthy. Yes, Wade Helton missed a game. He was out there tonight. Let's count the linemen tonight. Because you had Josh Atkins in there.
Yeah.
You had Jalen Clem in there. You had Jametto in there. You had Makai in there. You had Wade Helton in there. You had Makua Pule in there.
It's just your best
offensive lineman.
You had
Kyle Scott in there. You had Max Ahanachor in there. That's just when I was watching. We're talking about 8 offensive linemen in there.
You're right.
Guess what? Only 5 start. So why are we rotating them in? Is it an issue like we want to keep these guys fresh? Is this an issue of like we just looking for the best group out there? Is it a system thing? Like what is it? Because maybe I'm an idiot, but I don't understand it. Like I get maybe there's a time where you want to rotate in somebody that is talented because you want to give somebody else a break, right? I get it. They're 300-pound dudes out there. They're big. It's a long game. It was hot out there tonight on the field. You want to give them a break. Yeah. I get that. I don't understand moving everybody around.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened tonight.
It's like every other play, dude.
Like you had Clem in there at left tackle. You moved out Atkins. You had Kyle Scott out. Wade Helton was initially starting at right guard, and then went over to left guard.
He's never played.
And Makai's at, you have everybody moving. Meanwhile, you have a kid who is a former walk-on at Makua Pule, et cetera. And I'm not putting this whole game on him by any means. But I'm just saying, as the center, right, you are the quarterback of this offensive line. Imagine what's got to be going on in this kid's head. On every single snap, he's looking to his right and his left, and it's a different guy. Of course they can't protect anybody. There's no rhythm. Just the same way the offense doesn't have a groove. The offensive line cannot build any sort of chemistry if every single drive we're rotating somebody in. Yeah. Again, maybe I'm an idiot. That could be it. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I just don't get it. No, but that for me is it really is racking my brain because I am sitting here every game trying to find a reason as to why this offense can't do X, Y, and Z right, because you're right, Shane. This team returns the second most talent in the country at the FBS level outside of Clemson. So why is it not working? I get it. Scat's gone. I get it. We understand. Greatest running back in Arizona State history. Cam Scadaboo was one man on this offense last year. I get he did ridiculous things. So did he just shoulder the other 10? Because I don't think so. That didn't look like that was the case in 2024. Cam Scadaboo didn't single-handedly win this team a Big 12 championship. So what is going wrong offensively on a night-in, night-out basis to where we're sitting up here, scratching our heads, and then we finally figure it out in the fourth quarter?
Well, here's what I'll say, though. You had 400-plus yards.
You outperformed them offensively.
Yeah. And the points once again didn't show for it. Tonight was less of the red zone and more so just look, guys, let's be honest. This game was a nightmare of all combinations. You had Leavitt go down at the start of the game, and that impacted the rest of the game. You had one of the flukiest fumble, whatever it was, inside of the red zone. But you know what? That's football, and they couldn't overcome that. This team just, yeah, they fight back at the end of the game, but man, when stuff starts to snowball, it goes bad. And the middle 8 crapped the bed. Just crapped the bed. Couldn't do anything. 3 and out of the first possession out of halftime. That is unacceptable.
No.
That's the thing that worries me the most is, yeah, you had this.
That was the 3rd and 2, by the way.
Yeah. You had this weird game where a bunch happened, but when stuff starts to go bad, it just goes bad. Like, they can't let that get in their head, and it's happening. And you know what that says most about? It says most about the coaching.
Yeah. I think the single most disappointing thing for me personally this season, it has been the coaching. And it got to a point where there were multiple times in post games where Kenny was saying, we got out coached. And I know the coach a lot of times takes and shoulders the blame, but when you look at the eye test, man, like, you're spot on about the offensive line. And before we hit a break here, because I know we will, and I think while I read my ad, you should take a sip of this.
I just don't get it, man.
I know. You know what cards you've been dealt. It's not early in the season. Like, when the beginning of the game against Texas Tech, what did this team do? What did this offense do? They schemed it to have Sam Leavitt get the ball out of his hands fast and quick. Now, was that the whole game against Tech? No, of course, plays broke down. Sam had to scramble out of the pocket, throw deep balls, all of that. But to get yourself in a rhythm, because it's the same thing. Sam's getting sacked every time. When the offensive line is giving up a sack every time, you don't think that affects them mentally? Not just the guy getting hit, but the guy getting beat. Like, if Sam's getting the ball out quickly and it's at least not resulting in a negative play, again, momentum, you get things moving. You know the cards that you've been dealt. You know it. And you haven't been able to succeed with them.
Before we hit the final break, I want to address Josh's comment here, saying negativity is the death of positive progress. Josh, I am, and I think I probably always will be, one of, if not the most positive content creators when it comes to Arizona State football.
Agreed.
And I feel like the two people in here, Shane and Erik, can attest to that. But what I won't do is I won't sit here and
fanboy
when there's nothing to fanboy over. I love the game of football more than I love any specific team, any specific player, any specific coach. The football performance tonight was not there for this team. Did certain things happen that were, unlucky? Absolutely. Got to find a way to rebound. Got to find a way to get back in it. So I get it. I get you don't want to be negative, and 9 times out of 10, 9.9 times out of 10, I'm not. And I'm not sitting here saying the season's over when I know a lot of folks are genuinely feeling that way. And I don't think it's over. But I'm not going to sit up here and say, you know what? Well, let's look at the bright side. Because tonight, there wasn't a bright side.
Yeah.
Your favorite team played at home on family weekend, got smacked in the face. And it's going to impact this team's season. It is going to. So there's no way to spin it.
And there is, again, now you tease something that's been bothering you. I'm teasing something that's been bothering me. And we'll get to it after our final break. Take a sip of that, my friend. Well, I tell you about the best place to get all your local sports gear. Of course, it's Rally House, the go-to shop for all your favorite local Arizona teams, including Arizona State. Of course, we did a show just a couple of weeks ago, about a week and a day ago, at the Tempe Marketplace location out in, of course, Tempe. They also have locations in Mesa and Glendale. Plus, you got rallyhouse.com with hundreds of pages of all the gear that you could ever want and need for the Sun Devils, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks. They just have it all. Every time you visit Rally House or shop online, you're guaranteed to find something new, unique, and that matches your game day vibe. Plus, it's not just hats and shirts, but shorts, drinkware, signage, coolers, socks. Hell, they even have sunscreen. Whatever you're looking for to up your game day or just your everyday if you're me, shop with Rally House. Find your local Rally House location, shop their entire product assortment online at www.rallyhouse.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we normally don't get blessed with an opportunity to do a show in Studio K. We just don't. We're in the other studio, but man, does it feel good to kind of be in a comfortable spot here in Studio K. Shout out, our friends Circle K for all that they do on a daily basis to help us and help you save money every single day with their free membership program. Inner Circle. It takes like 5 seconds, guys, to get enrolled. Seriously, go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. You are going to be in the Inner Circle. Just the other day, they had a Inner Circle fuel day where you guys could have saved 40 cents off per gallon just for being a free member. Free member, ladies and gentlemen. And today I signed up, I had already been signed up. I missed the fuel day yesterday, but I still had to fill up. Today I saved 10 cents just for being a member.
Good.
The deals,
something went right for you.
The deals don't stop just when it comes to gas, guys, snacks, drinks, all of the things. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Okay. So this is what's been bothering me. I think that some people are having problems like compartmentalizing and separating things from a big picture perspective.
From a big picture perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Arizona State University football is in a good place.
Great place.
And a much better place than we expected them to be.
Great place.
This many years into the Kenny Dillingham era. Right or wrong, from everybody, even the people who are the most mad right now. Did you expect to be here right now 3 years ago? Did you? No. Right? That's a good thing. And I understand the people who want to bring that up in chat. I get it. I totally understand. But the difference is you have to put that aside right now. Because we did not walk into this season saying, hey, whatever happens, happens. Program's in a good place. Absolutely not. I picked this team to go 11-1. You picked them to go 10-2.
Yeah.
We picked them to repeat as Big 12 champions. Internal expectations. I know say expectations aren't real, but we know they expected to be pretty damn good. This season has been an abject failure and disappointment. 8 games in. There is no way to twist it. 5-3 is more losses than any of the 3 of us in this room picked for the entire season, and they haven't hit the second bye week yet.
Yeah.
Abject failure for this season. From a program perspective, they are in a great place. You can do both of those emotions at the same time. Like, I feel good about the program, and right now I feel bad about the team. Those things don't have to butt heads. And it's really annoying me that it's like people are either like, hey, everything's fine, don't get angry. Or, hey, everything sucks. Why are you at all happy about the state of this program? Like, both things can, again, be true at the same time. God, I'd take a shot for every time I say that. This bottle would be empty.
Ben Sheesdy in the chat. We just need to reevaluate our expectations. Is 8-4 a successful season? Yes, absolutely. 8-4 is a successful season by standards in college football. The reason I'm upset today is not because this team lost.
Not by this team. 8-4 is not successful.
No, absolutely.
No, by the large standard of college football, 8-4 is absolutely a successful season.
But not by this team.
No,
again,
I can't talk the way I've talked about with this team and say 8-4 is successful. I can't. That would be disingenuous to what I have been saying for the last 10 months.
Absolutely. Then you are absolutely entitled to say that. But let's not forget where we were 3 years ago with this football program. Let's not forget that we witnessed this team get belt to ass every single game. They were 3-9 in Dilly's first year. A bowl ban before the season even started. Before that first game. Let's not forget that you had an old asshole in Herman Edwards leading this program straight into hell. You want to talk about the talent on those teams that underachieved? You want to talk about those seasons? So yeah, were the expectations high this year? Absolutely. Have they met them? Absolutely not. But if this team falls belly over and they go 8-4, am I going to honestly sit up here and tell you that I am pissed off? Yeah. Am I going to say it was a failure? No, I'm not going to say it was a failure. Why? Because I don't believe it. 8-4 sounds pretty damn good to me when it was 3-9 after 3-9 after 3-9 and there was no vision for this program. People forget that Kenny Dillingham is the second youngest coach in college football. This is his first head coaching job. He's 3 years in. He won the Big 12 championship in year 2. You telling me he goes to a nice bowl game and they go 8-4 and that's a failure for year 3? Not by my standard. The reason I'm pissed off, though, isn't because of, oh, they're not going to the Big 12 championship. Oh, they're not going to go 10-2. I don't give two whatever, man. I don't.
You can say it.
We can go in overtime.
I don't give two shits. What I do care about is the standard of this program. When we sit up here and we say that, hey, the football program is in a great spot moving forward, which we feel like that's the truth.
It is the
right?
truth.
The reason we feel that way is because the standard looks different. The standard of football at Arizona State is different than it was when Herm was here. Different than when Todd was here. Different before those guys, predecessors were here. The standard is different. Tonight and against Utah, the 2 of the last 3 games, they just happen to be L's. The standard isn't being met. You can meet the standard and still lose football games, and that's okay. That's what you were talking about last year. When this team played Texas Tech, when they played Cincinnati, and they lost those games, were we sitting up here, like you said, banging on the table, this is over, this is BS, this is whatever? No, because they were still meeting the standard of football, the basic things that this program is now about. And you know what? Yes, the L's suck, absolutely. For me, it's not about the expectation. It's about the standard. That's what tells me the program's in a good spot. Yeah. 2 of the last 3 weeks, standard's been tossed out the window. Does not look good.
No, it doesn't. Look, again.
You can say whatever the hell you want, Damon. Like the come on, Totri, whatever. I genuinely feel that way. If you feel a different type of way, you're absolutely entitled to that, bro. But I'm not going to sit up here and say 8-4 is a failure when your football team is absolute buns. You would be begging and screaming and clawing for 8-4. And any Arizona fan in the chat that says they wouldn't be is lying out their ass to say that they wouldn't absolutely lose their shit to go 8-4. Tell me I'm wrong.
Here's the only thing I'll combat you on this, Totri.
There's nothing to combat me on.
Well,
this is how I feel.
I know that's how you feel. But when it comes to failure or success, it's black and white. It completely is. Because when you set an expectation for the season, you either meet it or you fail. The expectation wasn't 8-4.
No.
And so if they go 8-4, it is a failure.
Okay, by your standard and by your judgment, absolutely.
Sure, but didn't you set that same standard?
No, standards and expectations are different. The expectation that we had for this team was that they were absolutely going to compete and be 10-2, be 11-1, go to the Big 12 championship, and all that type of stuff.
So if you don't meet your expectations, you don't think that's a failure?
Expectations are results, not necessarily the standards of day in, day one stuff.
You also just said they're not meeting the standards.
You said
on both those things.
As of the last 3 weeks, 2 of the last 3 weeks, they're not meeting the standards of what it means to play Arizona State football for 4 quarters. Absolutely not. They have not met the standard. And what comes with that is an L, which adds up to the expectations that you and me and everybody else have had for this program. If they would have lost tonight and they would have not looked like they got kicked in the teeth, then that would have been fine for me.
It's different.
Absolutely different. I don't know why I'm getting beat down over here because I'm saying that the standard and the expectation are different.
I'm not. I was asking you a question.
I can sense your frustration, obviously, and I get it. And again, we all judge and base these things in different ways. For me personally, the fact that I can never compare this team with these expectations to 2 years ago. I can't do that. Now, again, can I understand that the program is in a great place and the fact that I am upset that this team is not a front runner for the Big 12 championship yet again? Is that objectively something I didn't think I'd be in 2 years ago? For sure. I'll live with the expectations. I want the expectations. I want to expect this football team to be better than what they have been, right? But to me, if we are sitting here at 5-3, again, like Shane said, it's black and white. That's more losses than I predicted for the whole season. Yeah. And it's more losses than all of us.
Absolutely.
So that's what are the expectations already before the second bye week failed.
Yeah.
And then we talk about how has this team looked? How have they played? It's not just been the last 2 losses that they've had, though. It's been multiple times in the wins where we're sitting here saying, man, there are legitimate problems that need to be fixed, right? Like, it'd be like if I judged the Suns with Kevin Durant based off of what they did 2 years before that. Or if I judged the post-2021 team after they went to the finals, the team that won 64 games, if I judged them on what the expectations were when they were in the bubble and they weren't even supposed to like be there, right? It's years, it's difference. You have, like, for me, it's like I can't just judge off of that. Well, I can still understand that I'm happy that I'm in a place that I wasn't there before. This has been a failure of a season so far. I don't know how they can save it. If they find that 0.05% chance to make it back to the Big 12 championship, cool. If they make a good bowl game, cool. That's great. And from a big picture perspective, that is awesome for the program. But based off of what my ass has been sitting here in front of these microphones and been saying for the last 10 months about Heisman candidates, Biletnikoff candidates, Big 12 champions, 11-1 season, all of that has not been upheld. That to me is a failure from every aspect that you can look at it on.
And I think that the big thing that people aren't getting with what Totri is saying and why I wanted him to further his explanation is it's not a black and white thing for him, because you go 8-4 in a season, whatever season it is. Let's say your starting quarterback gets injured, your 3 best players get injured. Like, then obviously you can't say that season is a failure. Stuff happens, circumstantial things happen in football. That's not what happened to Arizona State. But if they continue to compete and play at the standard that this team can play for the next however many games, and the season as a whole still looks and resembles what they expected this team to look like at the end of the year, and you just didn't have it one night, then I can see the circumstances being understandable to say it's not a failure.
That's where I'm coming from. It's like sometimes you run into, like, I absolutely get tonight. The reason why it's so frustrating for a lot of people, I think, is because, like someone said earlier in the chat, Houston felt like a beatable team, right? Sure. And they come out here and go to your place and they walk you around. If this was a game that was a back and forth, if this was a game that we're looking at the box score and it was, there was 1 or 2 penalties tonight, or Arizona State they hit on all their field goals, and you just look at the other side and you know what, Houston just outlasted them. They were just better.
They won another close game, right?
Then I'm cool with that. I can sleep at night knowing that your team gave it everything that they had and they just came up short. Tonight was not that. That's why I'm upset. That's when I say the standard and the expectation are different for me, and the standard makes me more upset when it's not met than the expectation.
So if they go 8-4, but that standard isn't met for you, but they beat
if they go
U of A, Colorado, West Virginia, they lose to Iowa State. That's 8-4. Yeah. But you could beat 3 bad teams by not playing up to the standard.
Depends how they play. Depends
so
who plays.
Could be a disappointment for you.
Yeah, depends who plays. Okay. Depends what it looks like.
Sure. And look, also, I think another way that maybe not to put words in your mouth that you're looking at it, is if we look at 5-10 years from now and the faith that we have in Kenny and the faith that we have in this program to continue to be better and to be consistent, to grow, to learn, and to win football games. If you look back at a season and it says 8-4, and then the next season says 9-3, and then the next season says 10-2, and then it goes to 8-4 again, it's like, hey,
guess what? Like you're better than 90% of college football teams,
for sure.
But what are we talking about?
But that's again, and I believe in that same thing as you.
That is absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And I believe in the same thing as you.
Like 8-4 is objectively, like, I get it. This season the expectations were high. I totally get where you guys are coming from, but like, genuinely, the Wildcat fans specifically in the chat saying, failure. Like, are you serious right now, dude? Like, you might need to take a walk around your apartment complex or whatever bridge you're camping out under, because 8-4 objectively in college football, not a failure. You want to know what's a failure? Oklahoma State lost 15 straight conference games. That's a failure. You want to go look at Colorado? What? It was 42-0 at halftime?
-16.
That's a failure. Like, what are we talking? Like, seriously? We're talking about a 4-loss season in college football as a failure? It's laughable. It is really laughable. I get it. Expectations. I hear them. Like, it's so true. But, like, come on now. Let's be real.
So, McKay, who is always in here, and I really appreciate McKay,
we've gotten so far off.
Says, can we talk about something productive? Yeah. I think we got that out of our system.
Do we have sound?
We
So
have
sound.
one thing.
Yeah, one thing to Dillingham, which should make people feel really good. But, this is from Blake Neiman. Here's what Kenny had to say about hope still being alive for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I mean, we have the same record in conference that we had last year at this exact time. So, like, it's funny. Last year is like, there is no hope, right? This year there like is hope. It's just funny how you can get lost in, in this whole thing. Like I told the guys, I was pretty mad in the locker room. But at the end, it's like, listen, we're at the same spot we were last year. We just got to go get better. Everybody's got to look themselves in the mirror, right? Coaches, players, everybody. And we got to go improve. And that's all you can do. So, it's frustrating. You hate losing. You hate losing at home. It was a really good run of winning at home. And now we got to start another run the next time we come home. But before that, we got to go play a really good Iowa State team, who I believe we have the same, both, we were in the championship last year together. I think we both have the same records now. We have one more conference win than them, but another good team, another road team, and we got to go take care of business for the bye.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference this year is BYU is still undefeated. Cincinnati hasn't lost in conference.
BYU was undefeated at this point last year.
Yeah.
But I think it's
You also
it's
played
beyond.
you also played BYU.
You also played BYU, and it's also, I think it's beyond BYU.
Well, yeah,
You have 4 teams ahead of you right now.
Yeah, and you don't play any of them the rest of the way.
No.
That's the issue.
You don't control your own destiny. You can win out, and you still don't control your own destiny.
Part of what got ASU there last year is Kansas State was ahead of them, BYU was ahead of them, and they played both of those teams.
And then also, again, they got in because of a tiebreaker, and they also got in because Kansas went on a miracle run at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Right? I get it that you are in the same spot as you were last year, and Arizona State deserved to be in the Big 12 championship. They deserved to win it. You can also acknowledge that they got extraordinarily lucky with a lot of things that they couldn't control.
Absolutely.
Right? And they would need to get even luckier to make it back this year.
Yeah, they're going to need a whole lot of luck to make it back. And that is what it is.
But what can Kenny go out there and be like, it's over. We're done. I think
that's what some people would want. People would maybe feel more comfortable with that. Like, what do you want your coach to say? Like, I don't know.
But also, I can imagine that, especially with how things were treated after Utah, like what Kenny is saying out publicly and what he is saying privately to his team, I cannot imagine it is coming with the same tone.
Yeah, 1,000%, dude.
Look, they still have a chance. It's true. But like you said, if the team that played tonight shows up,
then they don't.
So going into next week, as I would assume probably just start to wind things down.
We do have at least one thing that we have to get to.
And we will. But what do they need to do differently to start to next week? What's if you have
another hour?
If you had a to-do list, well, we got a whole week. But if you had a to-do list right now, the number one thing on your to-do list to fix for Arizona State going into Ames next weekend would be
get Sam healthy.
Yeah.
Besides health, from offensive scheme to
protect Sam Leavitt.
Yeah, I mean, figure out the offensive line.
Establish an identity. If you want to be a physical team, then play like a physical team.
Yeah, Totri, you know what? That's the biggest issue. This team has had no identity.
You cannot be
week
this
over
many
week.
weeks into the season and not know who you are.
Who are the Arizona State
at the start of the season, it was like, oh my God, this team's going to dominate on the ground again.
And they haven't. Why is Raleek Brown touching the ball 13 total times?
That's a great point.
Why is Kanye Udo getting 1 carry? If he's been passed by Man-Man, why isn't Man-Man getting carries? Like, what is the identity of this team? Is it just straight up Sam Leavitt throw the ball to Jordan Tyson? Because that's what it feels like. I get it works from time to time, but that's an awful identity. If that's it. You got to have more respect for the DCs in this conference. If that's your identity going in, you need to, in the next 6 days, figure out who the fuck you are on offense, on defense, and special teams. And if you don't know by Friday, don't even get on that goddamn plane. There's no point. Simple as that. Yeah.
So let's get to our love to play, our favorite play of the game. It's time for Love to Play, brought to you by our friends at Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today. Totri, what What was your favorite play of the game?
I think honestly, the final play summed it up pretty perfectly.
Oh man.
Not a lot of plays to choose from, considering Houston just ran the same one over and over again.
I had 7 favorite plays tonight.
You had 7.
I had seven different favorite plays tonight, and all of them were when Malik McLean got the ball.
All it took was for Erik to denounce him as his guy.
I am the curse. I am the
You
problem. 7 receptions, 159 yards. Love the play. My guy, formerly Malik McLean.
Green M&M, after everything you've said for the last
That's
hour,
crazy.
I didn't think that's where you were going.
That's maybe the
that's
craziest
pretty
comment
crazy.
I've seen.
I
Shimon TD before it was taken away.
I would say for me, probably the roughing the kicker at the end.
Yeah.
Just because.
That was funny.
I mean, that was just embarrassing. That was a perfect way to sum up everything. Also, I told Erik this in the press box. At some point in an off day, maybe during the bye week, everybody on that roster needs to take an acting class. Because if you are a skill guy and your foot hits the sideline, your big toe hits the sideline, and you are not flopping your ass onto the grass, then what are we doing? Because Houston did it. Houston put the game away with a flop.
Justin David Kish, sports journalist, says this game made me want to eat peanut butter, and I'm allergic to peanut butter.
That's the
I think that's
the realest shit I've ever heard, bro.
That's the perfect way to sum up the game.
That should have been closing time. That's the realest shit I've ever heard, bro. Oh my God, man.
Anything else?
This fucking sucked, man. This really blew, dude. Go beat Iowa State. Look, I know that my personal expectations for this team, it has been a disappointment of a season already. That being said, please make me feel good, right? If you rattle off 4-0 after this, if you find a way to go beat Iowa State, and then you walk into your final 3 games of the season and you beat West Virginia, Colorado, and then you win the Territorial Cup, it will not feel like it does tonight. Now, we might look back and say, fuck, man, I wish we were in the Big 12 championship. We should have been in the Big 12 championship. Whatever. Go win some games and make me feel better. That is what I need. Please make me feel better. Please.
Deli Man?
God, please.
We got to open a fortune cookie. This, I haven't done.
You will drive off the freeway.
I haven't done this in a while. Fuck.
Yeah.
Is that what the fortune cookie says?
Yeah, it does. Okay.
Fuck.
They made Deli Man curse, bro. And you know what? We should have known this was coming. Your jelly said so.
Yeah. Well,
Jelly neutral's never
Totri
good.
had the worst dream you could ever fucking imagine last night.
I'm not talking about the dream.
You don't want to share it?
I don't want to share it.
Can I like give a summary real quick?
Give a summary.
Totri died in a plane crash, and it was at fault of somebody that has something to do with Arizona State. Here's the fortune cookie. Oh my God!
Flying the plane,
They
man.
were flying the plane.
Here you go.
That is actually the
Here's a
worst
fortune
ever.
cookie that should help us, guys.
Oh boy.
This is the most fucked up. This
Say
is
protect
horrible.
Sam.
It's gonna be like your life is over.
Your luck has completely changed today.
No! That's not a good thing.
That's horrible.
Is it talking about Malik McLean specifically?
No, I think it's talking about how this team is now.
Unlucky.
Oh, it's over. You know what I'm gonna do for something? I haven't done this yet.
New fortune
I'm gonna
cookie?
take a bite of the fortune cookie.
Wow. Eat the fortune.
Well, actually, no, none of them have come true, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm not eating the fortune cookie.
Damon with a 198 super chat. We appreciate you, Damon. Love you, Totri. Great show, fellas. Appreciate you, Damon. It's all fun, man.
I don't know if this is fun, but it's all love.
It's all love. Couple things. Somebody in the chat was saying Ohio State 8-4 would be a failure. Like, what are we doing, bro? Ohio State won a national championship.
Ohio State
last
is
year.
one of the best college football
Like,
teams
are we
of all time
right now. I truly don't understand if you guys are NPCs sometimes, or maybe you just don't have.
You talk about goddamn expectations.
I just don't get it. Like,
The expectation for Ohio State is to win
2 years
every
ago, you were
game.
3-9, and now we're talking. We're in the same breath as Ohio State.
Look,
Dude,
man,
you need to drink more. Need to.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Totri.
Responsibly.
Yeah, there we go.
Responsibly.
Have some. Responsibly.
Yeah.
Expectations change, but you have to realize when delusion is taking over.
Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, no, and here's the thing. Even with the expectations this year, nobody was sitting here saying Arizona State is Ohio State.
Come on.
No.
Come on, man.
No.
The refs fucking blew.
Yeah,
They
really
were
bad.
horrible. They were all of the cuss words
You know how bad
wrapped
they were?
into one.
You know how bad they were?
Damon tweeted
tweeted about
You
it.
know, and you know what? Here's the thing that U of A fans and ASU fans can unite on. Okay? We fucking hate Houston, and we hate how the refs are dealing with
I
Houston.
kind of like Houston.
No, how the refs
Houston
coddle Houston. Houston's their little baby. Willie Fritz is their little baby, and they want to make sure he's burped
Sucking
and well
on
fed.
the teats of the Big 12.
Did you want another penalty, Willie? Like, literally, bro. Like, literally. That's what the refs are doing all damn game, bro. And then the announcers waving their Houston flag, bro. The announcers are like, Willie Fritz is the greatest coach in college football history. What a play for our Cougars. It was, honestly, bro.
That being
it was
said,
insane.
this team was horrible.
Was
the
bad.
team was
It was
horrible.
very bad.
The team was horrible. But the refs, and this is now, I remember watching some of the Houston U of A game, and it was actually insane. It felt like the announcers were rooting for Houston in both games. So I don't know where the Houston money is coming from. Maybe the play of the game was Willie Fritz sliding them a crisp $20 bill before the game.
Don't
and
forget
saying,
the hard
"Thanks, man."
candy, man.
And the hard candy, a crisp $20 bill and a Werther's original. But that was just part of the poop fest.
Hey, if we want to change the expectations, if we want to shift the goalposts right now, I'm fucking in for the Pop-Tart Bowl, bro.
Dude, I will say, Pop-Tart Bowl would be awesome objectively.
I'm not. Come on now.
From an
Come on.
outside perspective. The Pop-Tart Bowl would be sick. Love the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Not Texas, bro. Not Texas, Spence. Come on. Again, like, what are you doing here? You're dunking on yourself, dude. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. For those of you that this was your
I
first
made
show.
so many graphics that we're just not going to use.
I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. We will get out of here with closing time. Point blank period. Not good enough. Coaching, special teams, offense, defense. If you were a part of the Arizona State Sun Devil football team on October 25th and you played against Houston, you didn't do good enough. If you coached for this team on October 25th against Houston, you didn't do good enough. Good thing is, bright side, tomorrow's a new day. It's a new week. Sun Devils taking on Iowa State. Season still a lot to play for here in 2025. That is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devil Show. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. And if you enjoyed today's content, we'll give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You could follow Sensitive Sally here at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Daily Man at Shane Deef.
There's 5 weeks left of regular season ball in the Big 12? 6?
Something like that. 5.
Kansas
4?
State's probably going to dominate Texas
Bro.
Tech next week, and no one's going to know what's going to happen. So there's always hope, as always.
My Wildcats.
Yeah, that's going to do it, guys.
My Kansas
Go
State.
Devils. Have a good weekend. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.